our daughter's gone. A note was left and your daughter is gone?
This frantic voice belonged to Patsy Ramsey, the mother of 6-year-old JonBenét Ramsey from Boulder, Colorado. Patsy discovered her daughter's disappearance after finding a ransom note as she walked down her steps the day after Christmas. She immediately called the police for help. In a tragic turn of events, the lifeless body of JonBenét would be found in the basement of the home later that day.
Keep your babies close to you. There's someone out there.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the True Crimers Corner of YouTube. Today we're going to talk about the JonBenét Ramsey case. We're going to go quickly through the timeline, and we're going to finish with some of my thoughts. And make sure you guys hold on for this ride, because it's going to be very, very bumpy. There is so much information out there, and a lot of it is so confusing. So on December 25th of 1996, the entire Ramsey family was home. John, Patsy, Burke, and JonBenét. So the mother wakes up first, and about 5:52 in the morning, she's walking downstairs. She happens to see something out of the corner of her eye, and it was a letter. Not just any letter, though. It is a ransom note. And it reads, "Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed, and if you want her to see 1997, you will follow our instructions to the letter. You will withdraw $118,000 from your account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 will be in $20 bills. Make sure that you bring an adequate size attaché to the bank. When you get home, you will put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. The delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you to be rested. If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early and arrange an earlier delivery of the money and hence an earlier pickup of your daughter. Any deviation of my instructions will result in immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The two gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly like you, so I advise you not to provoke them. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as the police or FBI, will result in your daughter being beheaded. If we catch you talking to a stray dog, she dies. If you alert bank authorities, she dies. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she dies. You can try to deceive us, but be warned, we are familiar with law enforcement countermeasures and tactics. You stand a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try to outsmart us. Follow our instructions, and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back. You and your family are under constant scrutiny, as well as the authorities. Don't try and grow a brain, John. You are not the only fat cat around, so don't think that killing will be difficult. Don't underestimate us, John. Use that good southern common sense of yours. It's up to you now, John. Victory. Signed, SBTC. It was also later determined that the letter, the ransom note itself, was produced, it was wrote and practiced in their house. The killer had enough time to walk in their house, write this letter using Patsy's pen and paper, and then mess up, start over, and write this huge, lengthy ransom note. So keep that in mind when we continue on with the story. So after reading this, Patsy Ramsey decides to call the police and all of her friends and tells everybody to come over to her house.
911 emergency.
We need him. Police.
What's going on?
15th Street.
What's going on there, ma'am?
We have a kidnapping. Hurry, please.
Explain to me what's going on, okay?
There's a note left and our daughter's gone.
The first police officer that comes onto the scene tells the father, okay, let's calm down, let's try to figure this out, and they start going through names of people they think might have taken the daughter. So then 8 hours go by, and the police really make a big mistake here. They tell John Ramsey, hey, start at the top and work your way down in your house and look for anything that might be out of place or missing. John Ramsey then beelines it straight to the basement and finds his daughter's body. Her body was found not even 8 hours later, in the house where her mother, father, and older brother were sleeping. She was found on her back with a piece of rope around her neck. A broken paintbrush that was the mother's was used as a garrote, and there was tape on her mouth. Upon seeing his deceased daughter on the ground, the father then carried her upstairs and then threw a blanket over the body, completely and utterly mutilating the crime scene. So the coroner initially said that the method of death for her, the way she died, was asphyxiation. She was choked to death. Later on, the autopsy revealed that she was actually bludgeoned to death. There was DNA found on her pajamas and her underwear, both coming from the same source. And it was hinted that it was not sperm DNA, it was more like saliva. There was also a burn mark that had 2 small incisions to hint the use of a taser or a stun gun. There was one set of marks on her leg and the other on her cheek. Also, at the crime scene, there were 2 sets of footprints around the body. Now, outside the house, it was snowing very heavily. There was no footprints around the house, in the dirt around the house, in the snow, and even if there was, it would have been incredibly hard to pull a print from it. So now what do we have? We have a distraught family, we have a tampered and contaminated police investigation, and now the rumor mill kicks in. There were upwards of 10 to 12 suspects for this crime of who they think murdered JonBenét. The child was a TV star. She was basically a TV star. She was a beauty queen pageant winner, multiple times she's won. So everybody knows her. So the news got in on this. Everybody in America in the 90s knew about the JonBenét Ramsey case. Just like the Salem witch hunt, Salem witch trials. That's what I compare this to. Everybody at first was guilty. Everybody was a suspect and everybody had motive. That's what the news played out to be. That's what the police were going with, because they just could not comprehend who would kill this little girl. The only thing that makes sense, the only common sense there is here, is that the parents did it, or the older brother. You could absolutely get lost on the internet looking down the rabbit hole when it comes to conspiracies or theories on the JonBenét Ramsey case. So this is part 1. Part 2 is going to consist of my theories and overview of the suspects. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hey, get down to the comment section. I want to know your thoughts. True crime community, take care.